Hey, what the heck is up, everybody? It's your boys from For Those With Good Taste. I'm Matt. He's Lenny.
I don't know about you guys, but Dog the Bounty Hunter, that dude needs to get the fuck out of here, that clout-chasing bitch.
Today's the day we put all our cards on the table. We really tell each other how we feel and what's going down.
Tensions, they get fucking high, let me tell you.
Yeah, some would say it's palpable in here.
It's about to boil over.
We're about to bust.
We also do get into UFC 266, little conversation about fighter pay.
And we got some rumors about who Angelina Jolie's dating this weekend.
Oh, did we?
Oh, yeah.
Before we close things out with some trailers, your favorite, my favorite, and Matt's favorite.
Yeah, we certainly will be letting there be carnage, and it's all going down right now. You've got to hit like, hit subscribe, and join us for the craziness that's about to take place.
Who fucking tonight?
We fucking tonight.
For those with good taste.
Oh, Lenny, my boy. Another weekend of triumphs, tribulations, and some would say sorrow.
Did you put that on paper before you said it?
No, it all came from the heart, man. I thought about what happened this past weekend, and honestly, that kind of just sums it up.
Okay, it's like poetry, man.
Oh, did I sweep you off your feet?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, oh, am I a poet? And I didn't even know it.
No, I'm going to start only doing that off cam. I realize how many of the cliches and stupid shit I say on here.
It's kind of like your bit, dude. So we love it.
No, dude,
Me and the people we've talked, we love it.
I'm going to start looking into the mirror and be like, hey, you cut that shit out right now.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Okay, be that guy.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. You know, that's healthy.
Motivational speaker, Matt.
That's healthy. But I think it's no secret what I think we're talking about. There was a lot of things that happened this weekend. We both came out on top in a specific fantasy football league, so I think that was a good thing.
Yep, that's the one piece of solace I can take from my weekend.
I think that was the only triumph I was thinking of.
Yeah, it's about the only good thing that came from it. I think let's just skip to the bullshit here, Matt, and let's get right into it. There's only one person that we're going to talk about to start this off.
I know.
It's who we talked about the most, I would say. We dedicated a decent portion of last week's
I feel like I was just putting it off, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I think I'm okay to talk about it, Matt, because I'm mostly okay with how it happened. So we're talking about Nick Diaz's return at UFC 266 this past weekend.
Did you catch it?
Yeah, I wonder if you saw it.
Let us know.
Let's start here. Probably lackluster would be like a term that some people might use. Disappointing, a little sad, but also exciting.
Yes. I was hoping you were going to throw that in there. Skillful,
I think, can still be used in here. And I think there can be some... You can go a lot of different directions with the outcome of this fight. But yeah, so he lost via TKO to Robbie Lawler in the third round. He basically said no mas in a fight that he, from the very beginning, didn't seem all that enthused to be a part of or inspired during his performance. In the first couple minutes, he was already immediately on the cage.
Lenny, what was your first reaction to him getting into the cage? Did he look like a guy who was, gung-ho and ready for this fight?
No, I mean, even, I was going back and forth with it. I've watched him so closely, and I've watched so many of his interviews. I understand this man's, mannerisms and the way he feels about fighting. I'm one of those people who I think was always very aware of how he feels about fighting, and he, like GSP, has always said that they don't actually enjoy fighting. They enjoy martial arts, they love martial arts. Fighting is just something that Nick Diaz had to do to get himself in a better situation in his life, right? And it just seemed like he really didn't want to do it this week, but and we'll never get a straight answer. We'll get a roundabout answer about how he was pushed into this fight and why he had to take it on 6 weeks' notice. And, if you haven't fought for 6 years, why didn't you have more time to get prepared for something like this? Did he get injured? Was he in fact knocked out like they said he was? But even with 6 weeks, it didn't look like he was in train shape.
Yeah, I was going to say, what did he do with that 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Were we partying on the way to the
I genuinely don't
event?
think he was partying because his face is a lot, slimmer than it was. But, what did the nerves do to him? He definitely didn't look like he was ever going to make 170. So I'm with Robbie Lawler that it's why didn't we just sign at 185 to begin with?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy that switch kind of gets made last minute. You're talking, a week and a half between him signing the dotted line on 170 and then being like, hey, we're going to take this at 185. It's kind of tough, man. 6 weeks, the normal fight camp would be what? A lot of people take 9 to 12 weeks, give or take.
Yeah, 12. I would say the 10 to 12 range is probably.
Yeah.
Some people go further. A lot of people don't want to do it because you get a little worn down and mentally, especially if you go too long in a training camp.
Depends on what your turnaround time is for fights too, but
most of these guys that are at the top of their game, like Kamaru Usman, is not just training for his fight when his camp is. You know what I mean? And Nick didn't look like a guy who's been doing anything other than teaching martial arts.
Like he
doesn't look like he's prepared for a fight in a year.
I think it's been a while since he swam to
Alcatraz. Yeah, I mean, even the triathlon thing, like I don't think he was really doing it. And I'm pretty sure those pictures that we saw of him like super cut up were probably fresh off of those performances where he sucked out from like any water he had in him, whatever.
Yeah, makes sense. But with that being said, let's not take anything away from the fact that this man, for a person who was out of the game for 6 years. Apparently didn't take training camp seriously or take it at all. The performance and this man's skill as a boxer is insane.
Yeah. I hope I actually am not in the camp of not seeing him fight again because I
want to see it, man.
I saw enough there from a talent standpoint to say like, and it wasn't, dude, he was not knocked out. I think he just didn't really want to be there, and he saw that he was in a situation where
he just wasn't going to put Robbie away.
Like I think he already was. I texted you right before it happened and was like, he's gassed.
Yeah, he's gassed.
I'm pretty sure he's getting knocked out.
I thought you probably had the jump on me.
No,
I was like, oh man, I hope he's not spoiling it for me.
You can just tell the difference between a person who goes into that corner ready to go, and he just, even after the first round, didn't look like he had any confidence to be in there. Because I think, Matt, he basically told us, and I think you saw it, that he didn't feel prepared. Nope. He knows what it's like to go into his style of fight.
Said he shouldn't be fighting Robbie Lawler. Yeah. At this stage.
Even that, like put me in there with a killer who's been like, even though he's lost 4 fights in a row, he's fought consistently.
Dangerous, man.
And I knew, like I said to you, like the fact that and I said at the beginning of this, right, like the fact that he went right to the cage to start it and was like, come to me, was already like, hey, I don't have the stamina. The way he was going to beat Robbie Lawler in my head was the same way Colby Covington has beat Robbie Lawler recently.
So you have to put him on his face.
You have to put him on the cage, and you need to put flurries on him and make Robbie be the defensive guy.
Pressure.
And instead it was Robbie being the offensive guy, controlling the center of the octagon, because I don't think Nick had the confidence to really chase him around.
Did he even wait for the start?
No.
Because I'm pretty sure as soon as it got going, he was already across the cage.
But Nick threw that hilarious spinning kick to start the fight.
Everything about it, man, like it does show you that I don't think Nick's done. Like if he can get whatever's going on in the background, whatever stipulations went into him taking this fight the way that he did, let's hope that he can get past all that, because he showed, I don't want to use the word promise, but he showed how dangerous he can be if he's taking this fight seriously.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough. His punches were beautiful. Like I mean, I was watching GIFs of his combinations over and over again.
You showed me like 17 videos over the last couple days, dude.
But they were slow, and they just didn't. Again, they weren't a guy who was in shape.
And that was the elephant in the room. Is you could tell he'd been gone for 6 years. You can tell that he wasn't in fight shape, because for the good looks that he was getting, the good combinations that he's putting together, if that's prime time, ready to go Nick Diaz,
there's a little bit more crispness,
fluidity, sharpness to his combinations. But by all means, man, Robbie, let's not take anything away from Robbie at this point, because Robbie came in and put on a performance himself.
He looked great, man.
Showed that he was ready to throw punches, showed that he was ready to take punches to land his shots.
He said that Nick brought he's on a 4-fight losing streak prior to this fight, and said that he hasn't been as committed as he should in his training camps and in the way he's approached fighting. And he said that Nick brought out that in him because he anticipated a war. He anticipated a guy who was going to put volume on him, Thankfully, man, because I had, on this show said that Robbie Lawler, for those last 4 fights that he lost, was extremely gun shy. He just wasn't throwing punches. He was always waiting to throw, and he was constantly getting put under pressure by the people that he was fighting. I wanted to see what version of Robbie Lawler we would get, and if this was to be his last fight, that he would go out on a high. Great performance all around, man. Yeah, post-fight was amazing. Like, I loved what Robbie had to say.
Big time.
I wanted to talk about, though, and it kind of segues us into another thing, another fight on this card, or at least a response to the fight on the card. Why is Nick Diaz back? what are these reasons? Because I think it's either got to be one of two things, right? It's either got to be financially, he couldn't sit at home anymore, or it's still financials, but it's too many people have hooks in him that
he couldn't make his own choices.
Yeah, basically. You know what I mean? He has contracts or whatever else that he has to abide by, and that's why he's got to take these fights right now. And I think the reason I think it ties in importantly is we looked at some tweets between Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya, a famed rivalry in the combat sports world at this point. No love lost. And I want to actually focus, while Dana's the really funny side, I want to focus on the De La Hoya quote or tweet. Hey, Alexander Volkanovski, you just won a brutal battle for UFC and made 1/20th what you're worth. Dana White, have some fucking respect for yourself and these fighters and pay these fucking warriors but fucking warriors sounds better.
No,
what they deserve.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. And just to pay him his due, Dana White's response is, shut the fuck up, you crackhead. Faking that you had COVID and robbing me of watching you get knocked the fuck out by @Vitor Belfort. You should win an Academy Award for your fucking hospital performance. I again added fucking.
Again, quote unquote. While Dana's the funnier of the two, the big question is how right is Oscar De La Hoya?
Look at this whole past year. This whole past year has been fighters in a cage begging for fucking bonuses, begging for money. And then you have Nick Diaz, a guy who's a fucking legend in the sport, who has not made enough and was robbed of his fucking career, which this isn't Dana's fault. This man was robbed of years and years of his career for fucking marijuana, which is insane and like cost him obviously valuable money.
Millions.
And has made him feel like a villain, a guy who clearly already deals with some mental issues as far as confidence and everything else.
Maybe to the average fan doesn't get the respect that he deserves as being one of the greatest in our sport to ever do it.
But why is Chuck Liddell still fighting?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That man should have been set for life.
Why is Tito Ortiz still have to fight? Why do these guys who have come through your and made you all this money and gotten you these billion-dollar things all gotten cut and thrown to the side? And I just look and I'm like, why are current day fighters still needing to do this? Why is Corey, what's his name in Bellator? Corey Anderson. Corey Anderson. Thank you. Why isn't he in the UFC anymore? Yeah. It's not because he's not talented enough, right?
No, it's because they didn't want to pay him.
Because
he wanted to get paid. They didn't want to pay him.
Because he could give up his dream of being one of the best in his division in the world because he'd rather set up the rest of his future, which who can fucking blame him? Why? And we can get into John Jones if we want to, but it's same song and dance with that dumbass. Why has he not fought for the past year and a half? Like, yeah, sure, he's moving up to heavyweight, but that's not why he's not taking fights. No. It's because he's been a main event draw for you for over 10 years. And despite the fact that he is a whole lot of fucking trouble, he is one of the biggest pay-per-view draws you have. And he doesn't get paid anything near what Anthony Joshua gets paid.
I will go ahead and say that if a fighter gets paid what he's deserved, maybe he doesn't take the risks and the things that he does with his life. You don't know, right? Mm-hmm. Behind closed doors, whatever John Jones's demons are, the man's never been paid a quarter of what he's worth and what he's brought to the sport. It does make you wonder how many of these guys are going to continue putting on. I can't say it enough. Volkanovski put on a great and brutal performance, but on the other side of that, a young kid like Brian Ortega, I'm a huge fan of the kid. It's no secret. To see him take a second beating like that and not make any money that's going to help him really build a future for himself, at the end of the day, it's a performance like that says he may never be champion. But even if he was to become a champion, what he would have to go through to get paid $500,000 it's crazy to me, man.
And I haven't looked at the pay for this event, right? You bring up Brian Ortega, and the problem is he got paid half of his money, Matt, because it's still show and win. You know what I mean? And like that's a problem.
That's not
right?
crazy.
Like that's a fucking problem because he was this close to being a winner that night. He put on a championship performance that night. He is the very obvious third best in his division, and it's unfortunate, and this has happened to a lot of guys. John Fitch probably never made the money that he should have made because he could
never got the respect he deserves either.
Because he could never beat GSP.
Yeah. But
that doesn't mean that he's not a top 10 fucking welterweight in of all time, possibly. If you look at the list of people he beat his prime, you know?
Bro, he beat Thiago Alves twice.
So, get rid of show and win. Pay these guys a flat rate to do to do their work, right? Like don't dangle this fucking carrot and then keep dangling it in front of them. And then when they don't want to do what you want them to do, a la Francis Ngannou, who is the best heavyweight in the world.
Most dangerous man in the planet right now.
You get fucking sidelined for half a year, a whole year of the prime of your career because they don't want to play fucking ball with you. When you're going to make them way more money than they're going to give you back because you're locked into sponsorship deals that they've forced you to have. And these are the same guys, like, I don't even want to fucking get into it because it's like, these are the same guys who will be like, we're not going to mandate that you have to get like vaccinated to fight. That's bullshit that like jobs won't let you work if you don't get vaccinated. But they'll tell you can't work if you ask for a little bit more money or if you complain about the fact that you don't get more money off of a sponsorship deal from Venom or Reebok or whatever fucking dumb company.
Monster.
Are the fighters making anything off that Bitcoin thing that they're getting put on? No. So like, suck a dick, UFC. My long.
And I just want to circle back to, you mentioned Nick Diaz taking a 6-year layoff for smoking weed. That wasn't Dana's fault.
No. Again, I don't.
No. Everything that we just talked about, that is Dana's fault.
He's a large part in it. Like, and he has. Listen, he's the figurehead, right? So he's the one who bears the responsibility. Bro, he has the same hooks we're talking. I just want to say, and this is just to be fair all around. The same hooks that we're saying has Nick Diaz having to get back in the cage, the same hooks that Dana White has in because he's in bed with IMG and WME and like all these major companies have hooks in him. But that doesn't mean that you're still the one who has to bear the responsibility of it.
You're also
the first one to talk about.
You've also signed deals that have made you more profitable than you've ever been. You don't take as many risks as you don't have to take as many risks as you did before because no matter what, ESPN's going to pay you your money.
Yeah.
Right? We'll wrap it up with this, man. It was sad to see such great performances be undervalued this past weekend.
That's every weekend, Matt.
But it's, man.
And this turned into a whole tangent that I wasn't really looking to be involved in.
But we
right?
fucking did it, dude.
Great performances this week. Volkanovski, I think, has cemented himself as the best in that division, but I still have a lot of questions. The Holloway fight, the second one, I thought Holloway might have won.
You gotta bring that back, baby.
They're so clearly head and shoulders above the rest that I would like to see them run it back. But Holloway, I think, is going to have to get through either Giga.
Yair.
Oh, yeah, he's doing Yair.
Yeah.
And then you have Giga, whatever his name is, Shagazy or some shit, but I can't pronounce his fucking name.
I'm glad you stepped on that, Neil, because I wasn't going to.
And then, Valentina was awesome this weekend. Loved her comments on Ring Girls, even though they don't make a ton of sense, but I like the sentiment.
No, love everything about Valentina. She gets all the support from this studio. Mm-hmm. I did want to bring to your attention, did you see what Andrew Schultz said about her?
I did not watch it. I saw it came up on my YouTube feed today, though.
Okay. I wanted to get your take on it, where someone like Valentina is so dominant in her division. It was the Anderson Silva curse, right, of middleweight a couple of years ago. Valentina is obviously head and shoulders above everyone in her division, and her performances, while she's not finishing girls, I don't think anybody wanted to be Lauren Murphy on Saturday night.
She did finish Lauren Murphy.
She did finish. I'm sorry, I forgot. But
remember, she unleashed a Vitor.
Oh, so that's what I texted you about it.
Yeah,
so,
and I didn't understand what you were asking me. I saw that.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. She pulled off a video game combo.
She did a Vitor Belfort, just spare him the life to
Bro, but she head kicked her first.
Yeah.
She head kicked her and then just knocked her with 9 punches in the face. Mm-hmm. I texted you immediately. I can't believe I didn't remember that. But then you have someone like Andrew Schultz say, this is the top woman in your division. Like, she can't even put away this, I forget the term that he used, waitress or something like that. Extremely disrespectful.
Yeah, he's like a clickbait king.
Yeah, I get that,
I like Schultz. I like his show.
I dig him.
He has funny perspectives. I kind of miss him doing the Instagram thing that he did for a little minute there.
To me, that's where you get you're going to get the casual tag slapped on you for that one.
So I don't disagree in the fact that I was thinking she was going to come out. But the thing, every other fight with her, you do get the first round knockout. You do get her bodying a bitch.
Or she destroys these people for 5 rounds.
Yeah, or it's okay, she didn't finish her good enough in 3 rounds. Get out of here, man. She doesn't have, at the same time, there's a lot for this one. We're just talking about fighter pay.
Yeah.
being a champion is how you get paid in this organization.
Yeah.
Her being paired on Nick Diaz cards is huge for her.
Yeah.
And if she gives up those opportunities, because the good thing about where she's at,
She
Matt,
put on a fucking clinic, dude.
she's the type of the great thing for a person like her is she's the type of title that gets paired up with either another bigger title fight or gets paired up with a bigger name like a la Nate or Nick Diaz.
Yep.
They, like those are the ones that they bolster those cards up, and then she reaps the rewards of pay-per-view points. So I don't think I think she wants to hold on to that, and she's still like.
But her performances are
the talent level he's right on. That's where I don't
incredible,
disagree.
dude.
Like unfortunately, a lot of these girls haven't caught up, but because of a pioneer like Valentina, we're 5 years out, 6 years out from like think about what 135 looks like.
yeah.
now.
Well, what the next generation of fighters is going to look
men's
like.
135, 145, even Matt. A year and a half ago, they were going to get rid of flyweight in the
125.
UFC.
Look how freaking Brandon Moreno.
And you've had the fight of the
Davison
year come from
Figueiredo.
that.
Yeah.
So
Guys
these
putting on
things have
performances.
to catch up, and them introducing the 115 pound division, the 125 pound divisions. Those are how you're going to eventually have stars in those areas. And the thing is, and this is another. I'm just rambling here, but
That's okay.
You look at it, and everybody wants them to realign the men's weight divisions, right? We want 155,
Every 10
165,
pounds,
175. The problem with the 125 pound division is for women, they're too at the 115s. They're too small to fight at 125s. The girls at the 135 are generally some of them are a lot too way too big to get down to 125. So that thins out that 125 pound division. And I'm sure when Dana White thinks about it, he's like, yeah, Kevin Lee would be way more successful at 165. But there's a million guys that I'm just going to ask to cut more weight or going to be undersized going up. It's like and
it's not a new problem, right? Like we always talked about guys that we followed before that they were always stuck in between divisions. Like BJ Penn, great 155 pounder, won the title at 170 pounds, but he wasn't.
Took some of his worst beatings.
That's what I'm saying. He took some terrible fights at
and was
170.
165 going to make a big difference for BJ Penn taking those beatings? Because honestly, BJ Penn would have made more sense if a 145 pound division was happening at that point.
No, but even then, like we didn't have the 145 pound division back then, right? It wasn't a thing. So yeah, man, just overall crazy event. The way that it ended, I wanted to. We don't want to spend a ton of time talking about fight stuff, but I wanted to bring up the Anthony Joshua Alexander Usyk fight.
Yes, sir.
You
I didn't
and
watch it. But...
I know. You got the news from me. Like you didn't really have to watch it, right? The result of this match now derails any chance of a Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury in Wembley, which I think was everybody's dream fight at heavyweight. I'd like to get your take on, after not watching the fight but hearing the news, is that even something that would have interested you?
I mean, of course it would have. I mean, this is something that plagues boxing forever, right? Is like not being able to get big names or organizations on the same page to make these fights happen. You keep pushing them off, thinking they're always going to be there because you also think that you can control the matchups you pick.
Yeah.
But I don't even know Usyk like that, but from all indications...
Dangerous. No, he was dangerous.
Like the type of guy who was going to fuck up Anthony Joshua once I heard about it. Oh, he came up from cruiserweight and he was dominating down there. So he's light on his feet with really good movement, and Anthony Joshua... Come on, man.
Recipe for disaster.
I wanted to ask you, did you see the controversy that came out of this?
What controversy?
The end of the fight that they rang the bell early?
No, I didn't see that.
So, the ticker's up on the bottom, and it shows there's, 12, 11.
I heard there was
10,
an investigation going into it.
And all of a sudden, it's when Anthony Joshua gets rocked a little. He's on the ropes, getting a flurry let off on him. The clock goes away. And 5 seconds later,
the bell
bell rings. So there's probably only 5 seconds left on the clock, but it looks a lot like somebody got them to maybe ring the bell a smidge early there to get Anthony Joshua out without being knocked down or anything.
This is prime time corruption in boxing.
The problem is this is even a question. You know what I mean?
No. But do you want to know
why? Because of corruption.
Do you want to know what the next layer of this is?
What is that, man?
Guaranteed rematch, Len.
Yeah, always. And that's why you had to do it, because you have to keep interest to make
money.
But
here's the thing, though. You've now had two fights that should have been fights where you tee yourself up for a great performance and set yourself up for a big payday. Mm-hmm. Lenny, he's lost both of those. And the Ruiz fight should have been a gimme. You've already had a second chance. You've blown that second chance by fighting someone who was more dangerous than some people would say Deontay Wilder is at heavyweight. You took this chance.
So, I mean, because I think this, and again, didn't watch the fight, but I feel like the skill set of Usyk sounds like he'd beat the shit out of Deontay Wilder.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Like,
big time.
he just boxed circles around him, right?
And this is where now they're clamoring for Usyk versus Tyson Fury because it is two of the most technical boxers with the most talent. But now dude, we're talking Wembley. We're talking
Big
versus
numbers.
Brit. We're talking all this, and you just don't get that now.
So, boxing expert, Matt, Anthony Joshua, not good?
I think he's taken some damage, and rather than facing it, they've tried to pepper him with fights that he should win. And instead of confronting the elephant in the room and just saying, hey, maybe he needs to take a year off or take 2 years off and work on his defense because he takes shots every single fight, he's not going to have longevity in the sport.
The problem is, like, he's at the point where he can't really take time off. He's at that level. And so do you think it's a fear?
Bro.
Is it a fear of losing that has stopped him from taking these big fights?
No, it's Eddie Hearns.
Yeah, okay.
Eddie Hearns is the demon child behind Showtime. Let's call it what it is. I didn't want to say he's the Dana White of Showtime, but he's a piece of shit. And he is going to protect his golden goose as long as he can. Did you see the video somebody took of him walking out of the arena or walking out of the fight?
I didn't listen to what he said, but I saw how angry he
So
got.
they go, hey, Eddie, AJ shit, huh? He goes, what? He gets fucking so mad. And he like is about to flip out and then he walks away. Somebody grabs him and he walks away. And it's like, yeah, man, you screwed the pooch.
Yeah.
At what point do you guys get together and say maybe he's not as good defensively as he needs to be? If he would have fought Tyson Fury, that would have been the end of his career. Now we'll never know.
But he would have had the paycheck.
He would have gotten the paycheck. You don't get the paycheck, and you don't get the marquee matchup.
Those fights are dead now. Usyk just came in and took his fucking push.
Yeah,
Like,
he did everything that.
It's now the three-headed monster of Deontay Wilder,
But no,
Tyson
man,
Fury,
no,
Usyk,
because
right?
what you and I already know is that Tyson Fury is going to destroy Deontay Wilder.
I'd imagine. Yeah,
This
I don't
isn't
wanna-
even.
I don't want to get ahead of myself.
No,
I'd
this isn't
imagine
even.
it.
I will get ahead of you. This isn't even a question. Makes for a big fight, man. If the rematch is going to happen, I think Anthony Joshua gets blasted in the face again, and it just sets up a huge heavyweight fight between Alexander Usyk and one Tyson Fury. I almost
You got
called him
that.
Tommy Fury. I was like,
Whoa, speaking of Tommy
Tommy
Fury,
Fury
we
on
got
the
two
brain,
quick,
dude.
really quick things here. First of all, Tommy Fury, Tyron Woodley. Got the,
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, Tyron Woodley got the tattoo.
Yeah,
And then Jake Paul responded. Did you see the response video?
I didn't.
He just did like a thing saying like, "Oh, Tyron, I love you too." and then he said like, "Can I grab them cheeks now?" Is what he said to him.
Can I catch them cheeks?
He said, "Can I grab them cheeks?"
Can I grab
now?
them cheeks? That's disgusting. No, that does segue from Tommy Fury because Jake Paul is trying to line up a fight with Tommy Fury, but
Did you watch his video to Tommy Fury?
No.
Loved it.
Really?
Loved it. He did
Why am I not
he had a
seeing this?
written down thing, and he has DMs, and he compares him to he's like, I gave Dylan Dennis the same opportunity I'm giving you right now. He's like, here's your internet numbers. The only time you're big is when I talk about you. I was like, the biggest thing that's ever going to happen to you in your life is me. So you have an option right now. I'm offering you $1 million. Take the paycheck. I respect your brother. I want to fight you. Let's do it. He's like, but this is my last time I'm offering it. He's like, these are the DMs from Dylan Dennis where I offered him the same thing. He made a bunch of fucking excuses. He's never going to get that opportunity again. I'll never even fucking mention
and now
his
he's
name
chasing
after
him.
this.
Now he's chasing him.
Yes. Watch the video.
Bro,
people.
Jake Paul.
There are things that make you like that, dude.
Jake Paul might be a boss ass bitch.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, well, when you have the power, it's a little. I think you'll see a whole different. He's gonna be super respectful after he finally loses. It's gonna be the Conor route, you know.
Oh man, do you think Tommy knocks him out?
No. Oh yeah. Probably. Who fucking cares, dude? They both.
Dude, we're pundits. We get to make these fucking.
Yeah, but who
suggestions.
cares, man? I think it's more fun if Jake Paul keeps winning. Realistically,
We just keep guessing if they're gonna do shit, and then we get mad if they don't do the shit that we guessed. Fucking Roy Kent. Go watch Ted Lasso. Emmy Award winning. It's fucking awesome. Sorry.
I had no idea what that was.
Roy fucking Kent.
Noted. So, Matt, speaking of The Weeknd, he's rumored to be dating Angelina Jolie.
Really?
Yeah, that's all I...
Hold on, are you shitting me? Did you just read a headline?
Well, It's a little yes, a little no.
Okay, buddy. What do you got for this one?
The headline said, "The rumor has it, The Weeknd's dating Angelina Jolie." So basically what I just said. And then the article said they had been spotted on a couple dinner dates.
Oh, no way. Maybe they're working on like a video.
He's like, I respect it because he's way younger.
Yeah.
And it's like, good for him, dude.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's a catch.
Yeah, no, and she's pretty awesome. She's a hot topic right now, not
Plus,
the store.
Plus, her kids are older now, so they're probably moving on.
I don't think they're all that much older.
Yeah, like...
She has like 9. I think some of them are still kids, aren't they?
I don't think so, man.
You
What's that kid? Maddox?
Stats?
That guy?
Stats.
That guy? How
Double
many
check
kids
the
does
ages.
Angelina
for
Jolie have?
Yeah.
Do you think, like, how long do you think they've been together?
I mean, it seems like only a short while, and it's not really official. I'm just, I like the rumor mill. I'm out here just spreading rumors. Ages, I mean, like I said, they have 6 kids. Wow, holy shit. So we got a 19-year-old, 17-year-old, 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 12-year-old. So I guess
I nailed it,
They're not
dude.
all teenagers, though.
No, but
they're
bro,
not all teenagers.
all he's got to do is stick it out the last 6 years
and then he's
of these kids' life, and he's going to be banking, dude. And she's coming off that Eternals money.
Matt, I respect women, but that picture in the top right there, yikes.
No, I get that. She's
But then I see, dude.
this must have been on the set of Maleficent.
Yeah, looks evil, evil witch. However,
a more flattering picture.
I've seen some other stuff of her recently where I've been like, wow, very attractive.
No, like I thought she was attractive in the Eternals trailer,
Yeah,
but that could be CGI.
I'm into that. Do you think they're just smoothing her out?
I feel like there's an Instagram filter for that.
There definitely is, but I don't know if they use those in major movies.
I would need more information, man, because if, like, do you think this is an upgrade or a catch for her or for him? Because, like, I feel like she's, like, you're getting one of the hottest stars in music right now.
I think Angelina Jolie's like a bucket list kind of thing.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying she just wanted to go for a ride over the weekend?
Yes. She wanted to go for a ride on the weekend.
Over the weekend.
I think for the weekend, like, you grew up hearing the stories about her and Billy Bob in the limo, and like they had like vials of their own blood, which seems like something the weekend might be.
Yeah, but this was pre her adopting kids, and then I feel like Brad Pitt probably got all that out of her.
You think he fucked it up?
Dude, I think Brad Pitt will turn it up on just about anybody.
I'm sure he has.
Like,
but I think she is too. I don't think you take that out of that woman. You just have to bring it back out of her.
I don't know, man.
And dude, you can't go watch. You know what I would have happen to me? If I was going to be like seeing Angelina Jolie anywhere, I'd go and watch like Gone in 60 Seconds. I'd go through like the Laura Croft movies.
Movies for sure, dude.
This lady is.
Oh, man.
She's a fox.
She can raid my tomb anytime. With all due respect to women.
Great pun. All right, but that was just my little. That's the rumor. What do they do in the Breakfast Club? Rumor report.
Way to bring us back from the rumor mill, Len.
Yeah, we're still
appreciate
in it.
that, buddy.
So, anything else good go on this weekend, Matt? You watch anything? You got anything out of your system besides MMA and boxing?
Oh well, man, some guilty pleasures. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, you watch some guilty stuff. Porn?
No. You
don't still pull your hairs after you watch porn because you have to punish yourself?
Well, dude, I do have my eyebrows drawn in for a reason. You know. I know that they look authentic, but I've been yanking those bad boys out for a couple of years now.
Why'd you watch that brother and sister shit again?
Dude, auntie and uncle, not good stuff, dude.
Stepmoms.
What are we doing? Dogs?
Yeah.
Sorry,
took
a bit of a turn.
Wow.
No,
it was already dark enough.
I had like a Randy Marsh moment, bro. No, some guilty pleasure stuff, Len. The wife's been watching some Grey's Anatomy lately.
Sick. Katherine Heigl at her peak.
Well, they haven't been on that show in quite some time.
Oh, so you're watching the later seasons?
Yeah, so we're watching the later
season
seasons.
17?
Dude, they're up there.
Is it at this point? Is it basically a nighttime soap opera?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just meant to make you cry.
Is there a lot of crying?
Yeah, she cries all the time, dude.
Fuck.
Like I may have shed a tear here and there, but
do you like some of the people on it still?
Yeah, I think that they've done a good job with a lot of the character development. I think, when you're 17 seasons in, it's kind of difficult to write new stories, but when you're doing stuff that stays current, like the pandemic for them was gold because they just got to do COVID
stuff.
episodes.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like,
really fucking dive into that one.
yeah, like they were able to just lean into it. And spoiler alert, some of the main characters get it, and you're like, you're going through that whole roller coaster, and then they're always just chipping away at the feels, man. So I got to catch up on some of that. You and I had talked about one of Netflix's better shows, All American. I am coming up on the season finale of that, and that's been a pretty awesome ride as well. So I definitely recommend you taking that trip.
Still on my list. I want to watch that.
But
there's also that other Netflix show that Squid whatever that I've heard is really good. Squid Game, I think is the name of it.
That sounds disgusting.
I've heard very, very good things about it.
What kind of good things?
That it's a thriller.
I
saw the first couple seconds of the trailer.
It's provocative.
Maybe I should have told you to watch that trailer.
Yeah, that would have been a lot better. I would have taken that.
Maybe we'll get in. Maybe we'll do that.
No, I did let myself down because I wanted to watch Star Wars Visions, but
you didn't do it.
No, I was spending a lot of time with the kiddo.
Pull some more fucking hairs out, dude. Punish yourself.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm gonna start pulling them out of my butt, dude. That way people can't see it.
Where are we? Good
what?
call.
No, yeah, dude. I think that's just better, man. I can't keep painting on my eyebrows.
Yeah.
But listen, I know you got a bunch of movies to get off your chest because you watched like 30 of them last week.
Yeah, I mean, do I have to get them off? Do you want me to just list them?
I want you to do a speed round, like power time. Just.
You want me to just? Well, okay. So, I was trying to think how it kind of happened, like the progression of things here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll end with the last one I saw. So the first one, the stuff I watched at my house this weekend before I get to the movies. I watched Murder by Numbers. That's a 2002 film featuring Sandra Bullock, Ryan Gosling.
That's a very good movie.
Very good movie. That led me to watch The Proposal, which is like a 2011 Ryan Reynolds.
Bro, hold on. I'm going to strap in real quick because I feel like this is going to be a doozy.
So then I watched the Ryan Reynolds, Sandra Bullock film, The Proposal.
Another good one.
Also stars that old lady who's still alive, Betty White. There we go.
Dude, she's killing it. Yeah. Like,
it had somebody else in it. Then this led me to watching my first ever, I think, Hugh Grant movie. I've never watched a Hugh Grant movie before. Okay. Is that weird? Has anybody else watched a Hugh Grant movie before? Which also led me, Matt, to Julia Roberts is a low-key smoke of her time.
I was going to say Sandra Bullock was kind of a low-key smoke of her time.
I think everybody kind of knew that.
Yeah?
Like younger Sandra Bullock.
Like Miss Congeniality Sandra Bullock?
Never seen it.
I know. Did I do this on purpose? I'm not sure. Because I feel like I've been really upset with you for not watching this movie. Because I feel like it's one of those that like you watch with your mom, dude. Like that was just one of those movies back in the day.
I also liked, so I watched Notting Hill.
Yeah, oh God.
Okay. So I watched Notting Hill. Like, you know what's fucked up, Matt? Matt got to have this whole little moment last week where he got mad at me about the IMAX versus not my IMAX thing. If we weren't on a camera right now speaking into a microphone, Matt would be like, yeah, dude, like, oh, this chick flick, like, I love this chick flick. He'll just have this whole fucking conversation with me. We're on here, though, and he's like, oh, my God, you watched Notting Hill?
Notting Hill, I say that because I hadn't seen it, and based on the description that I heard of it, I was like, yeah, I ride or die with you on chick flicks, dude.
I don't know, man. You don't really seem
you
like
said
right now, man.
The Proposal, and my eyes lit up like it was Hanukkah, dude.
I don't know, man. It didn't feel like you were embracing it the way you should.
Okay. Do you really? I brought a Miss Congeniality.
That's just like, that's your perversions, dude. Are you Italian or perverted?
That's not fair, dude.
I don't know.
If you were to ask me what my perfect date is, I would say April 27th because it's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's a freaking quote from the movie. You'd get it if you actually watched it. I hate your guts, dude.
It's a great.
Get me out of this,
I thought you were just being yourself, and you were telling me like a deep moment for yourself.
No,
so either way,
people who know that movie will know what I'm talking about.
No one knows that movie.
Archer, back me up, bro. You know Miss Congeniality. I know you do. It's a New York thing.
Actually, speaking of Archer, sorry, I almost government to you. I almost got you, dude. I almost
you pulled a Matt.
I almost doxed you, brother. I'm sorry for your loss, Steve. That's what I wanted to say. I want to say I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry about the guy from Sex and the City.
Oh,
just got that out, dude. Got that out. My thoughts and prayers.
Oh, Jesus. You should have at least known his name.
Maybe. In my mind, he's the guy from White Collar. He's the guy from White Collar. He's really funny, and I liked him a lot.
Sorry for your loss.
And I'm sure that hit Steve hard this week.
Okay, so you went from not. Yeah, Jesus, it doesn't matter, dude. If anybody flips back to anything I've said Archer related, I always out-government them.
Yeah.
But can you pick up from where you left off? So you went from Notting Hill.
I was interested in Notting Hill. The one thing I found out from this, Notting Hill, Hugh Grant's the same age as me in that movie. I was like, I feel like this makes this movie more relatable. It's an adult rom-com.
Can I just?
I'm at that point where I could start watching things like Love Actually, and It's Complicated with Meryl Streep and Alec Baldwin. I'm branching off.
Oh, okay.
I'm in my advanced chick flick years.
So this is where you were getting to that. You also watched the Nick Sparks movies.
I didn't. No. Well, here's the thing. I watched 15 minutes of Dear John.
Oh God. Okay. And this is where
I shut it off.
This is where we disconnect because I freaking love Dear John. I think that movie is awesome.
So now you're heavily leaning into the chick flick thing because you feel like you have to overcompensate.
No, I'm not overcompensate. I've told you this off camera. Why are you doing this to me? This is like when you painted me out to be a racist. I can't stand for this shit anymore, dude.
I didn't paint you out to be a racist.
No, you took something that I said out of context and God damn it, they scored. Out of context, and you made it seem like I was a hater, and I'm not. But I like Dear John the same way that I like The Vow. I think The Vow is a good movie.
The Vow was great.
Okay.
The Vow was great. So I would like to watch more Nicholas Sparks, but really the only options out there are like Dear John and The Notebook, and I've seen that 700 times.
Okay.
So
Dear
why
John's
watch
a
it
good
again,
movie.
right?
Damn.
It's not that great.
Can you hit us in the chat? Let us know if Dear John's a good movie.
I've now gotten more towards my horror movies are what I'm watching right now. So
horror movies.
So I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween today. I started halfway through though.
Okay. Why?
Because I don't like any of the weird little kid shit in that movie.
Are you allowed to do that?
What do you mean?
I don't think you're allowed to just jump skip a movie like that.
I think if you've watched a series enough times, you can pick up and watch whatever parts you really want to in it.
I don't know, man. That's dicey.
Is that weird? So like, is anybody out there like if you love a movie but you don't really need the context or like the story set up for you, is it okay to just get to the meat and potatoes? Is that not all right?
It bothers me that you do
Is that not all right?
Because how are you?
But Matt, you know me to also watch TV shows by skipping the first like 8 episodes.
I hate you, man. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and say it because you waste your potential to take in content sometimes.
No, that's not true.
Because you give biased opinions that you don't break from, and you don't even have all the information half the time.
But I've seen the whole first half of Halloween before.
Then you're going to have to give me a quick synopsis.
Here's the issue. So that movie's okay in the sense that like once it becomes more of what the original Halloween is, so the second half of that movie picks up basically where after the first 20 minutes of Halloween the original.
Listen, I'm not saying that I don't understand the logic behind it.
Like,
I'm just saying I don't think you can do that.
I just don't care about him, this little kid in a fucking mental institution, like getting treatment for 40 minutes of a movie. I just don't give a shit.
All right, man. Well, we'll just
Literally
leave that one up to
I
the
love
experts.
when Danny Trejo dies, though. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Spoiler alert, dude.
2007 movie.
Doesn't matter. You got to drop the 3, 2, 1 spoiler, bro. Nope. We have a lot of people listening.
Yeah, we need to promote some stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to our other podcast, 3, 2, 1 spoiler,
where we just go out and spoil all the shit for you.
This has gone really long.
No, I know.
Last thing I did watch was on Thursday. I went to the movie theater, Matt, and I saw what I didn't know was a musical.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Is it Dear Evan Hansen?
Yeah, you spot on.
Okay.
Didn't know. I had no idea it was a musical. Didn't know it's actually based on a Broadway play. Didn't know that either. Pretty sure the kid who stars in it also did the Broadway play.
Okay.
And the movie is awesome. Loved it.
Like that. Okay. Love the reviews that you're giving out, dude. I can't remember the last time you gave a bad review.
I don't. This is a common misconception. I am actually especially when it comes to movies, the most forgiving person in the world.
I hate that about you because why can't you just be up? Like, it's not like the movie's gonna come back and like treat you badly. Like, why can't you just be upfront about how you feel about a movie?
But I just love it. I love movies. So it's like I just find here's the thing, Matt. Also,
but love is blind, right?
Yeah, it is. The Blind Side. I saw a picture of that guy when he was.
We're back to Sandra Bullock. Michael Orr, dude.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
But either way, you know me as a person who really only watches what I want to watch, right?
Yeah, I know it.
So I'm only going to watch things that I enjoy, meaning I only see things that I like. So I'm always going to give positive reviews.
It's a demented way of thinking.
Because
you're not exposing yourself to anything bad, so I don't even feel like you know what really is good. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I did it again.
That was super deep.
Whoa. Is that a haiku?
You write it down. We have to add up the syllables, I think it is.
No.
Dear Evan Hansen,
So,
I think is a
you
movie,
like the
I
movie?
would 100% recommend. If you like musicals, first of all, definitely
You
recommend it.
said
I
it's
like
2 hours long.
It is.
Oof.
That's
That's how I know you liked
Yeah,
it.
when you hear me give bad reviews, it's generally because movies are too long, right?
Yeah, that's
For
you to say that it's fantastic.
If you like a little bit of a movie that hits you in the feels a little bit at all, it's happy and sad. It's all over the place. You feel the whole range of emotions, but you also want to hear some fun songs and some good singing.
Fun
Get in
songs,
there.
good singing, and good pictures, man. I'm all about it, and I think it's only right that when we talk about good pictures, it's probably time for us to get to the most anticipated part of the show.
The only reason people show up every week. At some point, we need a graphic.
I think, yeah, you've been begging me for graphics. And I am not delivering.
Live thinking. What if it's like the
Stat guy, write this down.
when you remember in like the
Write it down.
90s 2000s era when you would go to a movie and the first thing it would show you is the rating of the movie before you
Yes.
saw it.
Yeah.
And the screen
Green
would turn
screen?
like the color
Oh,
for the rating,
dude.
right? I think that's what our like.
Ooh, that's a good
write
thought.
that down, stat guy.
Write that guy. Just do it in your phone.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Fuck, you're eating again, hot dogs?
We
God
bought you a
damn it.
notebook for a reason. Oh, fuck you, stat guy. Anyway, he's gone, dude.
Yes.
Like after this week, I'm over this shit.
We signed a 4-week contract, a month. He's
Yeah,
got a month.
no, he's
got 4
done, dude.
episodes to get this right.
Horror stories are coming soon for you, stat guy.
Mm-hmm.
But let's jump into some trailers, Len. Where do you want to start?
Well, as I read the notes that you've placed on the screen for me, I actually don't know what any of those are.
Come on.
What is... Oh, okay, I know what ST4 is now.
Yes, you do.
We'll start there last.
Okay.
I really quickly wanted to talk about something that we talked about last week. So remember we talked about Free Solo last week?
Yeah. We talked about sweaty palms.
So the Alpinist
Alpinist.
is apparently a new documentary that's coming out.
Is he climbing trees?
No, ice mountains.
Is he using like the pickaxes?
He free solos it. And can I spoiler alert you?
He dies.
3, 2, 1, you.
He dies.
He dies. He dies. So
are they allowed to? Do they show it?
I don't even know if it's out yet. I genuinely don't know.
It's coming out though.
I was reading through some headlines.
God damn. I need the juice. I need to know.
So
my goodness.
I read through the headlines, and apparently he died in 2018. And they believe it was an avalanche. Or they said it was an avalanche. I don't know if they believe it or they said it, but like they definitely... Oh, Showtime's for it. I can go watch it. Providence Place, Matt.
IMAX.
Shit.
That's crazy, dude. Thanks for outing me, but I appreciate it.
That didn't really out you. I outed them all.
No,
Promotion for them.
I mean, I get that. Oh man, there's like official stuff on it and everything. That's pretty crazy, man. That reminds me of the Grizzly Man.
Okay. Yep.
Like
Been
a live
long time
doc.
since I've seen that.
Oh, dude, that's one of the funniest.
Also
documentaries
turned
out
into
there.
basically a movie, right?
Yeah, they had to make it.
The dude from Girl Next Door.
The Revenant.
No.
Grizzly Man's not about the guy.
I've never seen The Revenant.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've never seen
It's the only one he won an Oscar for. It's the only one
I know.
he didn't deserve it.
And I feel like I'd really like it because like I'm into like the wilderness and shit, right? Like I've never seen a mountain I didn't enjoy.
No, so you'd enjoy the visuals if you watched it on a nice TV, but the
Would you
outside
say
of Tom,
is it an IMAX or a Dolby movie?
why are you doing this?
Is it an IMAX or a Dolby
It's
movie?
a Dolby movie.
It's a Dolby movie?
Yeah,
It's
for
a
the sound.
thing?
Yeah. There's
Does
orchestras.
Does he growl?
There's orchestra. Dude, when the bear eats him ass first.
Actually, that
Dude.
sounded like LOD. Right
You can hear the
What a rush.
What's up with you, dude? Legion of Doom shout out? That didn't take long.
Yeah.
Nice job, buddy.
It's been a while since I brought up wrestling.
No, I know, and I didn't give you the chance to do so, even though I promised you would. I know that you were kind of chomping at the bit. So this is out. So it's not out yet. It says it's 2020.
It's airing today. Matt.
It
It literally says it's airing at movie theaters today.
That's crazy. I didn't see it. Sorry. I'm like, when is this
You
out?
Google things right and still
It's
don't
out right now.
figure it
Yeah, no, dude. This is why we hired Stat Guy. We got to
Yeah,
fire
you're
him,
right,
dude, because he
like,
still
you
made
had
me
to
do
do
this.
yourself, which
Yeah,
is
he
fucking
still made
crazy.
me fucking do it. Yeah, I want to see this, but I want to see it in Dolby Atmos.
Okay,
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's an option.
Well, I'm gonna go see it in IMAX then because I don't give a shit about the differences between them.
I feel bad for this guy. Apparently, his girlfriend is also a free soloist. That's what I had read.
That
Marc-Andre Leclerc.
The idea that there's possible video of a man falling to his death is just crazy. Like the amount of things that you can see videos of nowadays. Freaking TMZ. Maybe cut it out with all the sad shit.
Talking to the mic.
You know what I mean? Sorry.
I want TMZ to really hear it. You were like
TMZ.
Yeah, you were talking to the camera, which I appreciate because like you got to make eye contact with them, let them know you're talking to them.
Stop sharing sad videos of shit happening to people. Okay, people getting dragged away at sea, getting hit by boats, chased away by gargoyles. Stop it all, man. It's getting a little bit too much.
We also point at the camera at least once a week.
Yeah, well, that's our thing.
Like that's our thumb. You had your hands like this. I was pointing, dude.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
That's perfect.
Spot on.
Timestamp it. Timestamp it.
The Alpinist. I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, so speaking of this, and this is actually a segue. So, would you rather die from an avalanche, or if you were soloing, have your pick like fall and you have to fall to your death? Which one would you?
Both of those sound awful. I think.
But if you had to choose,
well, I feel like an avalanche would be impact immediately. Like I feel like you're gonna get crushed. Where you're, both of those sound awful, dude. Can I just not?
I'm kind of into avalanches.
I feel like it'd be quick. Whereas I feel like if you fall,
well, yes and no. I think it'd be really scenic to like be standing somewhere and you just have to watch this whole mountain fall apart, you know, in front of you. It's better than when you think about falling off the side of a mountain cliff. You would look. You're just looking at the sky and like the wall in front of you.
And you're just watching it happen like Mulan style, is what you're saying. Like there's just a giant,
like Mufasa.
That wasn't an avalanche, dude.
But like he fell and he was looking up.
I wouldn't want to go that way. I'm saying it right now.
You're saying the avalanche.
I would do the avalanche.
Yeah,
avalanche sounds like the way to go. Based on the way that Samuel L. Jackson describes avalanches in Deep Blue Sea, I feel like it'd be something I'd want to experience over
one of my favorite speeches. You know,
over falling backwards.
I'm pretty sure D doesn't like that movie, and it's one of the things is he doesn't like. I don't think he likes the speech. This could be complete blasphemy, and he's not here to defend himself. But
how do you not like the speech?
I don't think he likes that speech.
He said, "We're gonna pull together and we're gonna get out of here."
Yeah,
like it's
a fucking dope speech.
Yeah,
and it's an iconic death.
It's awe-inspiring.
It's a perfect amount of Samuel L. Jackson also.
He looked so much older in that movie now that I think about it. He looks really young now.
I think that was intentional, but they grade him up.
Yeah.
He had facial hair and shit.
It was a bad look for him.
It's also, he kind of looks like Black Snake Moan version of himself, but with hair on the top.
Black Steak Moan?
Yeah. That's just an Outback commercial. Tripping a bot.
Sorry. Because I didn't want to call you out for it, but I was also like, the movie, like the name of the movie is weird enough. Like, but then you just getting it wrong just made it way worse.
I keep trying to make this segue happen. So I've been having a lot of things recommended to me on like the Instagram feed recently that are just people base jumping and like dropping off the side of shit, and you just see them fall away from the camera, and eventually a parachute goes. And I use that to bring up the fact that there's apparently a trailer we watched for something called HarderThey Fall.
Well, yeah, and it had nothing to do with anybody falling or anything, but the fact that this transition lines up perfectly, you nailed it, dude. No, The HarderThey Fall was the Netflix movie with Idris Elba. Idris Elba, Regina King.
What does that have to do with a plane or a balloon or a mountain?
No, it was about toppling an unjust city back in Western times.
In the Western times.
Yeah, so that's, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, Lenny.
Where does Idris Elba have all this time?
I don't know, man. He's Black Superman.
We actually talked about this like a month ago, probably, right? Rich people have more time than we do.
Yeah, it's like they can sleep 3 hours a day at night.
It's just, dude, he's had, 4 movies come out this year or some shit?
He's killing
I can only think of Suicide Squad, but I'm sure there's more.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's more. Like, there's this one, so that's 2. That's 2. And then I'm sure if we dug deep enough, we'd find another one.
Yeah, if we had a stat guy that was competent.
He's just not even looking at us at this point. It's fucking pissing me off.
It's like he's not even in the fucking room.
He's supposed to be watching the game and like live telecasting it to me in my ear, and he's just dropping the ball on that too.
Yeah, and like I want to say before we get back to HarderThey Fall, and we could just be referencing the team, but big respect to Matt because he's got his heart in a whole other place right now, focused on his soccer team going up against the Goliaths known as PSG.
We don't need to talk about it, dude.
Right?
As far as I'm being updated, they're already losing.
And like this is huge, man, that you're able to make it through when I know something you love so hard is falling.
Well,
you know what they say though, Matt, the harder they fall.
Well, I guess We Know What I Love More.
Yeah, Idris Elba.
Did I just make it weird? I'm not looking at Idris Elba right now. I'm looking deep into those dark green eyes of yours.
It's like Jake Paul said to Tyron Woodley. Let me squeeze them cheeks.
We're going to have to stop this camera real quick. It's about to get weird. But no, The Harder They Fall, was it a trailer that made you interested in watching it?
I'm going to say no.
So you're not going to watch it?
I don't think I'm a trailer guy, Matt.
No, I know, but
although
I have to ask you that question.
You didn't write a trailer up there, and I think it's the only one that I'm interested in talking about.
Which one?
Injustice.
I did write it, and I ended up deleting it. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think I'm a trailer guy, really. Idris Elba's cool, though, and was it Kelly Washington?
Regina Hall. You just keep flip-flopping those two.
Sick.
And I'm not going to call you out for it because you're a piece of shit. But yeah, no, I had Injustice up here.
Another question. Did you like that, time period? Do you like that time period of for movies?
It kind of felt like they were stealing it from Django, to be honest with you.
All right.
It seemed way too similar.
Matt showing up again.
I just gave you an out to give you your way to flip it on me, Johnny Bananas, you piece of shit. No, man, I'm okay with those type of times, but I feel like we've seen it already, and you're showing me something that, outside of a great cast, by the looks of it, is going to be a similar storyline or plot.
I just can't think of too many movies outside of Wild Wild West and Cowboys and Aliens that I've been like, hey, I like that time period. Maybe Indy. Does Indy qualify? No,
Shanghai Noon.
Doesn't. I just think he's wearing the hat, so it kind of is like...
You're an idiot. Shanghai Noon?
Sick. That's
a
good
really
mention.
good movie.
There's probably a million, actually, that I like.
Dude, this would be something that we could just jump into in another segment and have a lot of fun with. But the other issue that I have with some of the trailers that we looked at is it's like, you're kind of giving me everything. Like, we talk about this all the time. It's like some trailers just reveal too much.
I think I'm more likely to watch something if it's just sprung upon me, first of all. And secondly, I want to go into a movie blind a little bit.
You want to get blinded?
By the light.
By the light.
Never seen that movie.
What movie?
Blinded by the Light.
That's a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was like a Tony Robbins segment.
Remember, so it's that movie about the guy who...
Careful.
I think he only hears Bruce Springsteen songs or whatever. Remember, it's that one where it's actually it's about some kid who moved to America. I don't know. Who cares, dude? It's that guy. What the fuck you leave me out on islands for?
You're shooting all your credibility. This guy's fucking fired, dude.
Yeah,
we're so done with him.
Man. What are you here for? Jesus.
I just can't believe that he's just leaving his eye to dry here. But the next one that I wanted to get to really quickly, Stranger Things 4. It's a teaser trailer, so they didn't give too much. It's supposed to be released next year. You and I have talked about how much time there is between shows. Is this even something that you're psyched for?
Well, I don't know. I hope we have enough time right now to ask you this question. I never saw Stranger Things season 3. So I was mostly lost by what I watched. Are we still in the underground?
Well, that had nothing to do with season 3. The Upside Down.
Yeah, that thing.
That trailer had nothing to do with what happened in season 3.
So is this? Are we now just these kids are in a whole different world that's not the show that I watched before? So
they just blended Stranger Things and It. And they were like, these guys are just going to visit haunted houses and they're trying to see what's weird.
So that was a teaser of showing us the characters.
Yep.
So that has nothing to do with what the show's
Nope, they showed everybody together and that they're apparently breaking into people's houses. Interesting.
I didn't know all those people were left on it. Is that girl still on it?
Yeah, she was on it in season 3.
Interesting. Well, no, I'm not talking about...
You're talking about the redhead.
I'm not talking about 11. I'm talking about...
No, you're talking about the sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still on. Yeah, come on, guy. You and I on the same wavelength. Yeah, she's on there. I hate that you did that.
Bro moment. Yeah.
I hate that you didn't watch season 3.
I will. I promise. So let's just get everything out there in the open, Matt.
If we must.
You blatantly called me a liar. A second ago.
Yeah.
You did.
You looked me in my face and you fucking lied to me.
I promised you I would watch season 3 of Stranger Things.
Were you around for the conversation that happened after that?
What was
that
it?
Guy, can you fucking check him real quick?
Remind me, guys.
Okay.
Remind me what my statement
Let's go back to the statement.
Okay. What, do you just record everything to Dragon software?
I'm mad at you because you haven't... This is coming from me. I'm mad at you because you haven't watched season 3, although it's been out for 2 years.
We should get you a typewriter so you can do this like you're in court.
Lenny responds, yeah, but I didn't want to watch season 3 because season 2 wasn't even that good, and I may not have finished it. Matthew, inaudibly pissed. What the fuck, dude?
Well, but I right after that said, actually, I think I finished season 2. The problem is the same thing we talked about, and this is why I just said save it. I think
you
the
save
distance...
it, dude. Don't fucking talk to me like that.
Save it, bro.
So I fucking told you, save it. Talk to the hand. Sorry, go ahead.
So, like, they do have a long time between seasons, and I feel like I really like seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah. But you didn't finish 2.
But then I really do genuinely think I finished 2. And I watched the first episode, I think, of season 3. And what I was going to tell you is, because there was such a long distance between seasons, I felt like I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Because season 3 has a time jump, right?
Yeah.
And I think I was really confused a little bit by the time jump. Didn't really get it. I think, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, the brother is banging an older chick, maybe, at the beginning of that season?
No, he's introduced as, like, all the older women are onto him because he's a lifeguard at a pool. So he's always glistening.
See, I've watched more than I thought.
I still hate your guts because season 3 was awesome.
Here's the thing. I promise. I'll stop. I wasn't going to actually watch, but I was trying to watch Gotham. I'll stop watching that. I'm going Stranger Things.
You should stop watching it.
I'm going Stranger Things. You've heard it here first, folks. Hold me accountable.
Hit me in the chat if you can tell what is Lenny's bullshit tell.
Do we need to set a time frame
for
to watch it? Do you want me to do?
No,
so,
dude.
because you can. You want to punish me, Matt?
This is gonna take. I brought my paddle.
Yeah.
No.
We have so many fun things behind the table.
Why did you look me in the eye and be like, "Do you want to punish me?
You want to punish me?
You want to Why'd you stutter?
I really dragged the punish.
Where are we going with
I
this?
have a pop filter on this.
Yeah, fucking popping my nerves right now. What's up with you? What are we talking about?
King Richard. You want to talk about King Richard? Like, we'll just air all of our dirty laundry. This is this episode is going to be called airing our dirty laundry.
Yeah, when couples fight. Because honestly, man, like, this is coming full circle. The amount of times that I've asked you, or like I'd be like, hey, let's talk about this. Maybe we bring this up. I'd love to know what your tits feel about this. You
sandbaggy
will just tell me, no, I'm not interested in that. No, not interested in that. And I just sometimes let shit hit the back burner. And lo and behold, thank you. Stack guy, fucking write this shit down, dude. Mm-hmm. You come to me and say, hey, write down King Richard because I want to talk about it. So let's set the platform here, Len. You didn't take it when I said let's talk about it. So what do you have to say?
I want to say right off the back that
off the bat.
Oh, whoops.
Right off the bat. Fuck him. He's an asshole.
That I said earlier, I need to something just has to happen naturally for me, man. Like, the world just works in mysterious ways, Matt. Like, I'm just an ebbs and flow kind of dude.
Yeah, in your bubble.
Bruce Lee, like water.
No, you're like a bubble on water.
Yeah, I'm like a rigid thing of water. So I was at the movies. I was seeing Dear Evan Hansen, and there happened to be a trailer before it. And this trailer was for King Richard. And maybe it was because I was in Dolby, dude. Not IMAX. I was in Dolby. And maybe it was just the sound was so good. But all of a sudden, I was like, damn, Will Smith's a good dad.
I'm going to pull up the quote here. Lenny, when I asked you, hey, did you want to talk about King Richard after we had seen the trailer? I want to see if you got this
quote actually right.
You said, why would I want to watch Will Smith make a movie about Venus and the most successful tennis stars of our generation's father? I don't know. Why would I want to watch that?
That's actually spot on. And I still mostly feel that way, but I've seen the trailer.
What was the big jump?
I've seen the trailer since then, and I think it might be a little bit better than I anticipated.
I will also quote, you said, I don't want to watch Will Smith do a terrible accent for 2 hours.
Does he have an accent in it?
Yes, his impersonation of their father is downright disrespectful. I've never heard the man talk.
Yeah, okay,
but if it's any consolation, dude, it is awful.
No, I was like, they don't want him to play tennis, and they played tennis, and they beat a bunch of them at tennis. Remember when they're like, oh, she can't hit it, and he tells them they tell the girl to step in, and then she hits it even harder.
So you want to tell her to step in more?
Yeah, you want to tell her to step in a little bit more, mate? And
it's not British. He's not British. What are we doing here, bro?
And I was like, wow, dude, that's really impactful.
No, when I had first seen the trailer, the only reason why I thought we would want to talk about it is because I did think it was an interesting angle to take of a biopic. It's not really about the sisters. It's about their father's dedication and determination to make them the best. Mm-hmm. And he succeeded, But I kind of felt like there was an underlying story that needed to be told there. But what's your thoughts?
Maybe we'll get a sequel it's called Venus, and then we'll get another sequel that's called Serena.
So this is a trilogy.
Yes.
I'm already out.
No?
Yeah,
Tapped
I think if
Tapped
you...
out.
I would rather know about Serena first and then finish with Venus.
I'll watch this movie when it's on
Paramount
HBO
Plus.
Max.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going
Specifically, if it's on Paramount Plus, send it back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like a straight to DVD type thing.
I won't watch it.
All right. Well, I guess at least I know where you stand on it. You just want to see Will Smith do a bad impersonation, is what you're saying?
I guess so, yeah. Because I loved it so much, Matt. I loved it.
All right. Well, I'm glad we talked about it, dude.
You know what you loved? Injustice. The trailer for Injustice.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Why?
No, I mean, how well do you know me? Since we're airing out our dirty laundry.
You got a real stiffy when you saw blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always enjoy when the DC movies get a little bit more gratuitous, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And
you went from like 6 to 9 p.m. watching this trailer.
I hate that you're still doing the time thing. Like this has already not worked before.
You popped a real semi, buddy.
I went from 12 to 6. Let's say that.
Again, I'm not so sure that works.
Oh, 6. I finally get it. 6 to... Sorry, we'll do this off camera. I don't want to look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yep. We got there finally. 2 weeks later.
Shut up. I was excited because you're seeing the turn of of bad Superman. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the trailer for Injustice. And we've always seen the depiction of how Batman goes bad and Superman has to reel him in. The idea that Superman has now gone off the rails because of what Joker has done to him. That storyline does give me a little bit of a chub.
Did you find it interesting, the timing at all of this movie, Matt?
I hadn't actually heard anything, so I was interested. I was surprised by the trailer. Did
you feel at all like
I don't feel like these are loaded questions.
Similar to anything else you've seen recently?
Yeah. Everybody's on the hype train.
Don't you think it's interesting? Like, you love Invincible.
And I've been blowing it up.
I've never seen it. But I did see a scene last week.
Oh, yeah, you did see the scene.
And that scene
looked eerily similar.
A little similar to the initial thing I saw in the trailer here. And I just thought that was And to be fair, the DC comics have actually been relatively graphic. Like
so it wasn't like this is the first time.
Yeah, like they've done some really brutal fight scenes, like the Joker getting the shit kicked out of him and stuff. So it's not the first time, but I did feel like this movie was very interestingly timed with what's in vogue right now.
So can I tell you what was more the reason of me getting excited? And I'm kind of glad that you drew that parallel. Was that there is a scene where Superman is just killing everyone.
Yeah.
And that scene is exactly like the scene that I showed you because Omni-Man, if you haven't figured it out, is supposed to be a knockoff version of Superman. And what I would say is it's funny that the timing happens the way that it does, because although this isn't the first gory movie that they've made, the storyline that you're dropping is a like for like replacement for
who are we
Invincible.
Mad at? Because who ripped off who?
I don't know who ripped off.
I mean, Injustice, the video games.
The video game's been out
before this, and I'm pretty. Comics actually better than me. I feel like that's already been done.
It's already been done, but we're talking timing.
But sure, the actual movie, but like Invincible, like you said, they have a character based on another character. So
all of their characters for the most part.
So this year they got to it first, and it's interesting that DC saw it made money, it's popular, so they're like, well, we have the actual name brand version of this.
Yeah.
Like, you've been giving me fucking Stop and Shop brand, and we have Kellogg's.
This is great value.
Yeah, like we have Kellogg's.
Stop giving away our location, you jerk.
Is that a
great value is Walmart?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Stop and Shop was like
that's regional.
That's only North America.
Yeah, dude. Because
not North America, but like it's only
the Northeast.
I feel so bad for our Australian fans because they don't even understand any of what we're talking about.
Well, for them,
I did say something about Outback earlier, though.
No, you did, and I'm pretty sure you've mentioned Alexander Volkanovsky a few times on this as well. So they're getting some love, dude.
That is huge.
You can't say that. No, I do think it is the great value knockoff brand. It is really interesting to see the storyline develop between Batman and Superman, and that's kind of what had me excited about this trailer. But how did you feel?
I loved it. I loved it. In a weird way, though, because I also, as of yesterday, determined I don't think I like animated movies anymore.
Yeah, do you want to broach that here or no?
Yeah, no, we can.
What the fuck's up with you?
It just, this looked good. Yeah. And I feel like I'll probably watch it. And I obviously make drastic statements sometimes, and I am a little rigid in the way I operate.
You speak in hyperbole a lot.
Yeah.
So do I.
I generalize and say I don't think I'm really interested in animated stuff any longer, but I think there's always going to be certain things that are going to pique your interest in anything. So I say I don't like animated stuff. If we get another season of Resident Evil, I'm going to probably watch that. I like the Jurassic Park TV show.
That's why I was just really surprised that you said that, because there's been animated shit that you're watching.
Maybe it's just stylistically, there's certain things I don't like. So anime's never been something that's caught my eye. So a large portion of the people we know, and just in general, anime is huge. I feel like anime is one of those things that nowadays is destigmatized, because when we were younger, a certain demographic were the only people who watch anime. And I'm saying nerdy people,
treading a fine line, my man.
Yeah, I know I am.
Be careful.
I'm not what I'm saying is now, 2021, everybody watches
mainstream.
Anime. Yeah. Athletes watch anime, fucking musicians watch anime,
MMA fighters.
It could be absolutely anybody who watches anime now. So it's a lot more popularized and just accepted now. But it's just not something that's ever interested me or intrigued me that much. So much so that Dragon Ball Z is the biggest thing that come out of when we were younger, and it's never been something I've
never watched yet. Well, Dragon Ball Z, while it's great, it's a great anime. The storyline isn't what really sells it. It's the character building, right? You're following these characters on their journey. The reason why I think when people talk to you about anime and they're or animation in general, they're surprised that you don't like it because of the storylines that you're kind of drawn to.
I know.
A lot of these depictions of characters really, I think, correlate with what you find interesting in all movies and television shows.
But so, you're right. I love stories.
Dawson's Creek is fucking Demon Slayer.
But that's why I have to say the animation must be what it is, right? Is because I don't know if I don't get engaged the same way. The animated stuff I've always loved is primarily...
The stakes aren't as high because they're not real, right? Is that what it feels like?
I think that, I am not... It's funny. It probably sounds weird, but the animated stuff I've always loved is the stuff that I watched on, Saturday morning cartoons, right? Yeah. So that's where superhero shit, like Batman and Superman, that actually is still going to draw me in, I think.
You and I have talked about the Batman animated series and how much you enjoyed that.
Yeah, and even talking about, what is that Jurassic Park show? That Jurassic Park show is basically just a Saturday morning cartoon that's on Netflix, you know? So, I think I still associate that with something I'm nostalgic about, but maybe the storylines and everything that anime lovers love is the more adult concepts that it introduces, right? And I think maybe for that type of stuff, I lean more towards
real live action.
Yeah,
and I think that's okay, man. I think you say that you're moving away from animations. I think you're actually getting deeper than you've ever been.
Dude,
you see what
we've got to stop doing that.
Come what? You don't like that?
You like. Never mind. It's just so...
I broke them. Yes.
All right.
I win.
So we had one last thing with movies to go. This is the longest trailer segment we've ever done.
This is the longest segment that we've ever done.
Yeah,
Everything's been long
fair.
And hard.
So we got an image from The Last of Us this week.
We got a few images.
Did you play The Last of Us the first game? Mm-hmm. You've never played the second, right?
No.
Okay.
Can I tell you why?
Why?
One of the missions or parts that you have to get through is you're walking or you're tiptoeing inside of a little lab and you need to grab a flashlight or some supplies.
This is in the first game?
This is on the first one, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm walking, I go around a desk and they want you to crouch behind the desk. And as soon as you turn the corner, something comes out and scares the shit out of you. Haven't touched the game since then.
Isn't that the best though?
Sure, man. Once. I'm not doing that shit.
Because you died, right?
Bro, I died and I wasn't going to do it again.
Dude, you know you have the ability to see through walls and shit in that game, right?
Huh.
You could have known that was there.
So?
I'm just saying, maybe jump back in the pool, buddy.
No. Maybe
I
will.
I think you're missing out.
I heard it's a really good game.
It's a movie, man. So you're talking about with anime and stuff.
It scares the shit out of me, dude.
The things nowadays, I think, as far as this TV show is concerned, because I don't think we've ever really talked about the fact the TV show is happening, right? Maybe when it first got announced, we talked about it quickly.
You brought it up to me because the girl who's in it, who's playing Ellie.
Bella Ramsey.
Bella
which
Ramsey.
Is the chick from Game
of
of Thrones, right?
Yep.
The thing about zombie things in general now, the only thing that's ever going to set you apart is going to be the story that you can tell within that world, because there's a million different options out there that you can watch to feed that, like, if that's what you're interested in, you know?
Niche.
So for me, at least, good stories is always going to differentiate. So this isn't even a zombie thing. This is a little different than that.
Yeah. It's more of a thriller.
Well, it's like, I'm saying, like, even it's not zombies that are coming after them. It's like, like these mutated whatever, you know?
Yeah, it's outside of the regular cloth. It's more Resident Evil than it is like Walking Dead.
Maybe I'll step outside of zombie and say post-apocalyptic, right?
Yeah,
because that's
a better term.
The
shit went nuclear.
Yeah, like there's a lot of that out there, and I think concepts and storylines are going to differentiate. And I think what's kept me interested in The Walking Dead, for instance, is I'm bought into the storyline. I want to see where it goes. What was that movie where it was more of a rom-com in a zombie world? It had Teresa Palmer in it. The dude was already a zombie.
iZombie.
No, that's a TV show.
That's a TV show.
I know what this movie's called, too.
Cold something. God damn it.
Warm
Bodies.
Warm Bodies.
There you go.
So, like, that type of movie. That's like a really interesting take on that type of concept.
Right? Yeah, he was trying to get his nut off.
Yes, and it helped him become human again.
That's great.
Yeah, blowing loads cures zombie apocalypse.
Somebody needs to take notes.
Yeah.
That guy
that's
sent an email.
That's a headline that'll get me to read it also.
But you're not getting past the headlines.
Blowing loads stop zombie apocalypse.
And I'm done. I'm just going to start shooting these things out in the air.
I've been actually stopping zombie apocalypses for years.
He said, now it makes sense why I don't see any zombies around my house.
That's actually, send me 50 cents each of you.
Why 50 cents?
I didn't want to ask for too much.
Your pricing is ridiculous,
and
dude.
I figure we have enough fans
Pretty
that
sure
would add up
Siemens worth more than that in the sperm bank.
Someone's sending my... Never mind.
Don't. Chill, dude.
I almost dropped the hard C.
You're going to get us canceled, bro.
I almost dropped the hardest C.
Can you not, bro?
So I am really, really excited. I'm still not sold on the casting of that Bella Ramsey chick, because I don't think she looks like
she doesn't look the part, no.
Necessarily, but maybe once I see her in like the active
we know she's got some acting chops on her, right? Like she can probably portray the role.
And
it's just going to depend.
Who plays,
Joel
is, what's his name again?
You're going to ask me about names, dude? Come on.
Because
we just looked at it.
Pedro Pascal, right?
No. Oh, yeah, Pedro Pascal, sorry.
Pedro Pascal. I think he looks pretty good, like close to it.
He's right on the nail.
So, we just got a still shot. It's them looking over like a landscape. But one of my favorite things that this game does is, like, you've played the first one enough to get to the point where the first time they go into the city, and there's like a giraffe walking by and all that.
Yep.
Like that looks like so vast and beautiful, I think. And in the second game, you get even more of that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's going to translate really well to a movie setting, right? Something that you can catch in Dolby Atmos.
It's going to come down to how good these guys are, because the biggest selling feature of the TV show
it's going to be awesome.
or of the video games is the relationship between Joel and Ellie. So
should be good, man. I know that the game is something that's always excited you, and the series probably is going to be right there with you.
I'm replaying the second game right now.
Yeah?
I'm not that far into it.
Maybe I'll jump back on, dude. It's paid for. I just got to re-download it.
There we go.
Getting back on the horse, dude, so to speak. But, we've already talked about how long this episode's been, Len. So let's take them into what we've got coming up and what we're looking forward to watch.
I only really have one big thing that's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I am going to be honest. I've only got one big thing, too.
Yeah, so we've
got one small thing, too.
Nice.
I'll drop it on him.
Sick.
No worries.
Venom 2 is out as of Friday.
Venom Let There Be Carnage, Len.
There we go.
Say the name correctly. Don't dead name it.
I think a fair amount of hype. I think ton is probably overstating it a bit. But I think that it's interest to people. I think
people are excited.
Especially we have Spider-Man coming not too far down the line here, that this is going to be a nice precursor, and maybe we get some really interesting tie-ins, and we're only a month or two out from
No Way Home.
Right? So.
Yeah, it should be interesting, man. I think a lot of people are excited to see the character hit the big screen again.
I'm happy because, and I don't know if everybody's excited or like positive, but I think everybody's going to see it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy because I've said on here, I've kind of grown to be a fan of at least Tom Hardy as
Dude,
Eddie Brock.
I'm diehard Tom Hardy fan.
Yeah, across the board, man.
Yeah, across the board, man. I enjoy what he does.
Great guy. Great actor.
He's got some really good quotes out there. Stat guy, you need to get some quotes so that I can get those tattooed on my legs. So outside of Let There Be Carnage, we've got UFC Fight Night, free fight to look forward to. Top heavyweights going against light heavyweights going against each other. In Johnny Walker and Thiago Santos, not top light heavyweights.
No, like mid tier.
They're both top 5.
I know, in the thinnest division for the past 15 years.
So stop me when I'm fucking lying, dude. They're both top 5.
You just like, I guess top contenders. I don't know.
Dude. It's free fights. Can I sell it?
Is Johnny Walker a fight away from a title?
Nah.
Is he 2 fights away from a title?
Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Neither one of these guys are.
No.
But it's the only fight that's really on the card. Betch Kohea making her return also.
I think there was a decent Kevin Holland fights.
Kevin Holland is on there, but he's fighting
up and coming.
Dicos.
Dicos.
Yeah, Dicos.
Dickoff.
Kevin
Dicos.
Kevin Dicos. But that's really all we got, man. Where can they find us if they want to interact on the socials, Len?
We can frequently be found at Good Taste Live on Twitter.
And then they can check us out on @ForThoseWithGoodTaste on Instagram.
Yeah, a lot of really, really good stuff on there. I've been super impressed with just our output there, Matt, because we are savages of the social media world.
We're getting up there, dude. I like the turn that we're taking.
Yeah.
We're putting a little bit more oomph in it.
Make sure to throw a share and a like for us on there. Maybe just go shoot a follow if you might. We're friendly.
And don't be afraid to go over and check out our YouTube channel because we've got a bunch of stuff going on there too. All of our clips and episodes.
Yeah.
And you can drop a subscribe, a like, a comment.
Hit the notification bell.
We usually like to say hit us in the chat.
We are For Those With Good Taste on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Pandora. I'm pretty sure they can find us at...
Go ahead and say it, Lenny.
Deezers
and
Deez
nuts, people, because we're out here. But that's a friendly Deez nuts. We don't want to be aggressive.
Racked my brain, dude. It was
you okay? It was tough to get out.
Yeah, I have like a tension, like a stress headache.
Yeah, I would say it's not the first time you had a tough time getting something out.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you guys tune in, drop a like, hit us in the subscribes, and check us out next time right here in Good Taste Studios. We freaking love you, people.
And what you've learned this week is anybody can stop a zombie apocalypse.
Even you.
For those with good taste.